Imagine growing up in poverty, being bullied every day, rejected by the music industry, and told you'll never make it. Most people would quit. But one skinny kid from Detroit turned pain into poetry and became Eminem, the rap god. This is the story of Marshall Bruce Mathers III, better known as Eminem. Before we dive into his incredible journey, make sure to hit that subscribe button and click the bell so you don't miss any inspiring celebrity stories. Marshall Bruce Mathers III, better known as Eminem, was born on October 17, 1972, in St. Joseph, Missouri. His father abandoned the family when he was just a baby, leaving his mother to raise him alone. His childhood was unstable, filled with constant moves between Missouri and Detroit. He never had a steady home, often living in poor neighborhoods and facing poverty. At school, Marshall struggled academically, especially in subjects like math. He was bullied regularly by bigger kids, often beaten up for being small and shy. As a child, he felt like an outsider, especially in Detroit, where he was one of the few white kids in a mostly black community. Music became his escape, especially rap, which was booming in Detroit at the time. He began listening to LL Cool J, Beastie Boys, and Run DMC, memorizing their lyrics line by line. At home, life was difficult. His mother, Debbie, struggled with personal issues and could not provide stability. He grew up without the love and support most kids need, often feeling alone. His family lived in run-down houses and frequently relied on welfare. At school, Marshall was picked on not only for being white in a black-dominated area, but also for being poor. He often skipped classes, finding more comfort in writing rhymes than in textbooks. Despite his struggles, he discovered he had a gift for language, using rap to express his pain. He would spend hours with a dictionary, teaching himself new words to improve his rhymes. At just 14 years old, he began rapping with his friend Mike Ruby, calling themselves Eminem. But teachers and peers didn't take him seriously. Nobody believed a white kid could make it in rap. After failing ninth grade 3 times, he dropped out of school at 17 with no diploma and no clear future. All he had was his pen, his notebook, and his dream to make it as a rapper, even if the odds were stacked against him. Despite all the pain in his childhood, Marshall found one thing that gave him hope: rap music. As a kid, he would listen to hip-hop on cassette tapes, rewinding them over and over to catch every word. LL Cool J, Beastie Boys, Run DMC, and later NWA became his biggest inspirations. He started writing little rhymes in his notebook, treating rap like a secret diary. The rhythm, the wordplay, and the raw emotion made him feel understood in a world that ignored him. By age 14, he began rapping with his friend Mike Ruby, and they called themselves Eminem. Over time, Eminem evolved into the stage name we now know as Eminem. Marshall would practice for hours, battling anyone who dared to challenge him. He memorized the dictionary, trying to expand his vocabulary and sharpen his punchlines. Rap became more than a hobby. It was his escape from poverty and pain. While other kids played sports, Marshall was in his room writing verses. His mother didn't support his dream, often criticizing him for wasting time on noise. But he refused to quit, sneaking into rap battles across Detroit. At first, crowds laughed at him. A white boy trying to rap wasn't taken seriously. But when he opened his mouth, the room fell silent, shocked by his raw talent. His flow, his wordplay, and his fearless delivery slowly earned him respect. Every insult, every punch, every rejection only fueled his hunger to prove himself. He began performing at small clubs and on street corners, carving a name in Detroit's underground rap scene. To him, rap wasn't just music. It was survival, therapy, and identity. Little did the world know, this hungry kid from Detroit was preparing to become the rap god. By the mid-1990s, Eminem was hustling hard in Detroit's underground rap scene. He was gaining small respect locally, but the music industry doors stayed shut. In 1996, he released his debut album, Infinite. Instead of success, it was a disaster. The album sold only a few hundred copies. Critics and fans dismissed him, saying he sounded like other rappers. Some even told him he would never make it in rap because he was white. The failure crushed him. After years of battling, his dream seemed impossible. Meanwhile, his personal life was falling apart. He worked minimum wage jobs, barely making enough to survive. His relationship with Kim Scott was unstable, filled with fights and separations. In 1995, their daughter Haley Jade was born, giving him a reason to fight harder. But providing for her was nearly impossible, and the pressure broke him down. He lived in rundown apartments, sometimes unable to pay rent or bills. Depression hit him hard. At one point, he even attempted suicide. On top of that, he was constantly rejected by record labels. No matter how many demos he sent out, nobody wanted to sign him. Every rejection letter was like another punch to the gut. Still, Marshall refused to give up on rap, even when the world told him to quit. Instead, he channeled his anger, pain, and frustration into a new persona. Out of that darkness, his alter ego, Slim Shady, was born. Angry, violent, and unfiltered. Out of rejection, poverty, and frustration, Marshall created a darker version of himself. This alter ego was wild, unapologetic, and brutally honest. He named him Slim Shady. Slim Shady said things Marshall couldn't, violent, sarcastic, and outrageous. Through Slim, Eminem could vent his rage at the world. The rhymes were shocking, but they carried truth wrapped in humor. In 1997, Eminem released the Slim Shady EP. The project was raw, filled with twisted stories and aggressive bars. Unlike Infinite, people paid attention this time. Slim Shady gave Marshall the freedom to be fearless in his lyrics. He mocked celebrities, exposed his struggles, and turned pain into punchlines. This was not just rap, it was therapy with a razor-sharp tongue. His outrageous style caught the ear of Dr. Dre's team. A copy of the Slim Shady EP landed in Dre's hands. When Dre heard it, he knew immediately. This guy was special. He invited Eminem to Los Angeles to meet in person. At first, Dre's team doubted signing a white rapper, but the moment Eminem freestyled, Dre was convinced. Together, they created the Slim Shady LP in 1999, and it changed hip-hop forever. Slim Shady, once born from pain and anger, became the key that unlocked Eminem's rise to superstardom. When Dr. Dre first heard Eminem's demo, he couldn't believe what he was listening to. A white rapper with razor-sharp lyrics, humor, and anger all packed into one voice. Dre didn't hesitate. He said, "Find him." I don't care how long it takes soon, Eminem flew out to Los Angeles to meet Dre face-to-face. Within minutes of hearing him freestyle, Dre knew he had discovered something unique. Despite doubts from others in the industry, Dre trusted his instinct. He signed Eminem to Aftermath Entertainment in 1998. Together, they began working on what would become the Slim Shady LP. Dre's polished production matched perfectly with Eminem's raw, shocking lyrics. In early 1999, the album was released, and the world had never heard anything like it. Songs like My Name Is and Guilty Conscience pushed boundaries and grabbed attention instantly. The mix of dark humor, violent storytelling, and honesty made Eminem stand out. The album skyrocketed to success, selling millions of copies. Eminem went from underground battles in Detroit to the mainstream stage overnight. He won his first Grammy Award for Best Rap Album in 2000. Critics praised him, parents feared him, and kids idolized him. Eminem had officially broken into the music industry, and there was no turning back. Dr. Dre not only gave him a platform, but also became his mentor and guide. Their partnership became one of the most legendary in hip-hop history. With Dre behind him, Eminem's journey from poverty to rap superstardom had finally begun. After the success of the Slim Shady LP, Eminem was no longer underground. He was on the world stage. In 2000, he released the Marshall Mathers LP, and it broke records instantly. Selling over 1.7 million copies in its first week, it became the fastest-selling rap album in history at the time. Tracks like Stan, The Real Slim Shady, and The Way I Am shocked and amazed listeners. Eminem was praised for his storytelling, but also criticized for his controversial lyrics. Despite the backlash, he was unstoppable. The album won 3 Grammy Awards. By this point, he wasn't just a rapper. He was a cultural force. In 2002, he returned with The Eminem Show, another massive success. Songs like Without Me and Cleaning Out My Closet revealed both his humor and his pain. The album sold over 27 million copies worldwide, cementing his dominance. That same year, Eminem made the leap from music to movies with 8 Mile. The semi-autobiographical film told the story of a struggling rapper from Detroit, mirroring Eminem's own journey. His performance was praised, proving he could act as well as rap. But it was the soundtrack that made history. The anthem, Lose Yourself, became a global hit, inspiring millions with its message of seizing opportunity. The song went on to win an Academy Award, making Eminem the first rapper to ever take home an Oscar. He had gone from welfare lines to the top of the charts, from underground battles to Hollywood's red carpet. By the early 2000s, Eminem was one of the most famous and controversial artists on the planet. His albums sold tens of millions, his concerts sold out worldwide, and his words echoed across generations. Eminem had risen from the shadows of Detroit to become a global superstar and rap icon. Behind the fame and fortune, Eminem's personal life was unraveling. The pressure of success, controversy, and constant public scrutiny weighed heavily on him. His marriage with Kim Scott was toxic, filled with fights, separations, and reconciliations. The media painted him as a villain, and lawsuits piled up from offended celebrities and organizations. Fame brought him money, but it also brought addiction. Eminem turned to prescription drugs like Vicodin, Valium, and Ambien to numb the pain. His habit grew dangerous. He was taking handfuls of pills daily. Slowly, his music started to fade as the drugs consumed his energy and focus. In 2006, tragedy struck when his best friend and fellow rapper, Proof, was shot and killed. Proof's death shattered Eminem, sending him deeper into depression. Around this time, he also gained significant weight, struggling with self-image and health. His family life was chaotic, custody battles over Haley and constant drama with Kim. He withdrew from the public eye, rarely making appearances. Many fans and critics believed his career was over. In 2007, things hit rock bottom. Eminem overdosed on methadone and nearly died. Doctors told him if he hadn't made it to the hospital in time, he wouldn't have survived. That brush with death became his wake-up call. He realized he had to choose between life or destruction. Slowly, Eminem committed to rehab, detox, and rebuilding his health. From the darkest chapter of his life, the seeds of his comeback were planted. After surviving his near-fatal overdose, Eminem made a choice: to fight for his life. He entered rehab, cut ties with destructive habits, and slowly began the road to sobriety. The first step back came in 2009 with the release of Relapse. Though the album had mixed reviews, it proved he still had fire in his pen. But Eminem wasn't satisfied. He wanted a true rebirth. In 2010, he delivered Recovery, an album that marked his transformation. Songs like Not Afraid revealed a new Eminem, sober, honest, and determined. Love the Way You Lie with Rihanna became a global anthem, topping charts worldwide. The album won the Grammy for Best Rap Album, re-establishing him as a dominant force. Fans saw not just a rapper, but a man who had survived death and returned stronger. Over the next years, he proved his longevity with the Marshall Mathers LP 2. Tracks like Rap God showcased his insane lyrical speed and technical mastery. He even broke a Guinness World Record with 1,560 words in one song. While critics questioned his relevance, his music silenced all doubts. He kept evolving: Revival, Kamikaze, and Music to Be Murdered. By all sparked conversation, with each release, Eminem proved he wasn't chasing trends. He was setting them. His performances, from award shows to surprise drops, reminded the world he was still hungry. Younger rappers looked up to him, many calling him their biggest influence. From near death to renewed glory, Eminem reinvented himself without losing his edge. His comeback wasn't just about music, it was about survival, resilience, and redefining what it means to be a legend. Today, Eminem stands as one of the most influential artists in music history. He has sold over 220 million records worldwide, making him one of the best-selling artists of all time. Eminem has won 15 Grammy Awards and an Academy Award, cementing his place in history. His music changed the landscape of hip-hop, opening doors for artists of all backgrounds. He proved that talent, not race, determines respect in the rap world. Eminem inspired countless young rappers to follow their dreams, no matter the obstacles. His lyrics showed raw honesty, pain, anger, love, and redemption, all in one verse. From Detroit streets to global stages, his journey became a symbol of resilience. Haley Jade, his daughter, remains a central motivation for his perseverance. Fans admire him not just for his skill, but for his courage to confront personal demons publicly. Eminem's battles, struggles, and comebacks are lessons in never giving up. He helped legitimize hip-hop as a form of storytelling and social commentary. His collaborations, from Rihanna to Dr. Dre, bridged genres and expanded his influence. He continues to break streaming records, proving his relevance in a new generation. Eminem's life story is a testament to the power of determination over adversity. He remains a mentor figure to new artists, sharing lessons from his own journey. Controversial yet respected, he shaped the culture of rap with authenticity. More than fame, he built a legacy rooted in survival, talent, and self-expression. Eminem's story teaches that failure, pain, and rejection can become the fuel for greatness. From a bullied poor kid in Detroit to a global icon, Eminem's legacy is nothing short of legendary. Eminem's journey is proof that talent alone isn't enough. It's perseverance that makes the difference. He faced poverty, bullying, rejection, and personal demons. Yet he never gave up. From the streets of Detroit to the global stage, his story inspires millions worldwide. Every failure he encountered became fuel for his next success. The pain he endured shaped the man and artist he would become. His alter ego, Slim Shady, taught him how to turn anger into art. Through music, he transformed struggles into stories that resonate with everyone. Eminem's life shows that even in your darkest moments, hope can shine through. He reminds us that setbacks are not the end. They are stepping stones. Addiction, loss, and heartbreak did not define him. His response did. His comeback proves that it's never too late to rebuild your life and pursue your dreams. Eminem's lyrics teach honesty, resilience, and courage in the face of criticism. He has become more than a rapper. He is a symbol of determination. His legacy is not just awards or sales, but the countless lives he's inspired. Every challenge he overcame adds depth to his story and power to his voice. Eminem's life is a lesson that, no matter where you start, your destiny can be extraordinary. He shows that vulnerability, when paired with strength, creates true greatness. For anyone struggling today, his story is a beacon of hope and motivation. From the bullied kid in Detroit to a global icon, Eminem proves that dreams are worth fighting for. And ultimately, his life reminds us all, resilience, passion, and courage can turn even the harshest struggles into legendary success. Thank you for exploring his story with us today. If you were inspired, make sure to like this video, share it with friends who love inspiring celebrity stories. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for more amazing biographies. Your support helps us tell more incredible stories like this one.